There was no mercy shown as they broke the bones of my son's face.
A beating by police officers.
I'm in fear of the police now.
And within a few minutes, something set them off.
I was hit in the head so many times, it's like, I don't remember.
That's a clear violation.
The officers beat him mercilessly.
If there was no video, he would have no voice.
Tonight, escalating uproar and outrage over allegations of a brutal beatdown at the hands of two police officers, and it was all caught on tape. I want you to take a look at the shocking surveillance video. 20-year-old Kyle Howell, who we have on tonight, claims he was viciously attacked, punched, and kicked more than 40 times by a couple of cops in a New York City suburb on Long Island after he was pulled over for a routine traffic stop. Kyle says he was leaving his job at a motorcycle shop when cops stopped him for a broken windshield. He claims things quickly turned violent after he flipped on his cell phone to videotape the cops and then reached across the front seat to grab a paycheck he says was about to blow out the door. Watch this video. Kyle says that's when one officer suddenly snaps and starts beating him up. We've pushed in so that you can see there's the officer, and he's it appears that he's kicking and punching inside the car. Okay, the cops admit to hitting Kyle, but they say it's because Kyle, quote, punched and kicked them so violently they suffered injuries which required medical attention. They also say Kyle tried to eat a bag of marijuana that was allegedly found in his car. Kyle denies these claims, saying he was beaten so badly, take a look at his face, he lost consciousness and woke up in the hospital, battered and bruised with a broken nose, bone fractures, and facial nerve damage. Kyle claims these two cops have had it in for him, stopping him at least a dozen times in the weeks leading up to this beating.
This is the damage that happened. I remember getting a knee to my face, and after that, I don't really remember much. I was hit in the head so many times, it's like, I don't remember. I'm emotionally scarred.
In what way?
It's because I'm in fear of the police now.
Tonight, we're learning Kyle's family is planning to sue the Nassau Police Department for false arrest, excessive police force, and depriving Kyle of his civil rights. The police have launched an internal investigation. We reached out to authorities. They won't comment on the ongoing investigation. We've got a fantastic Lions Den debate panel. But first, straight out to our very special guest, Kyle Howell, and his attorney, Amy Marion. So, Kyle, tell us about what happened in the moments leading up to this. One of the things that occurs to me as I'm looking at this is they're saying in their police documents, which I read, that you're kicking them, but you're inside the vehicle. We don't see you outside. We see him going into the vehicle with force. So I'm wondering, how could you be kicking them if we're watching him standing out there?
I don't know. They're making false accusations, I guess, to cover up what they did to me.
Now, you're saying that the police in general have profiled you and pulled you over unnecessarily, repeatedly, or these two officers in particular?
In particular, those two officers have pulled me over multiple times, as well as other officers from the same precinct.
And why do you feel that they were targeting you?
I am not sure.
Well, I mean, did you ever, is that why you pulled out? Because apparently you're saying that one of the officers, the officer we're looking at here on the passenger side, quote unquote, snapped when you pulled out your cell phone camera and decided you were going to start videotaping. Had you essentially decided, I've had enough, I'm going to start videotaping this, and that's what caused him to snap, allegedly?
I guess that's what he was mad at, because in the past he told me if I recorded him, he was going to use physical force to stop me.